히치하이커 출발해 보도록 합시다.
혹시 마검진 날리면 파동 일어나서 지나가던 트럭 뺏어 타고 그러는 게임인가요?
모르겠네요. 무슨 게임인지 일단 해봐야 알겠죠? 어드벤처 게임인 것 같긴 한데. 히치 하이커. 불러보기. 상호작용 취소 확인. 씹는 담배 마이스. 칫솔. 가방에 칫솔밖에 없어?
So, where are you headed?
예? 저요? 모르겠는데요?
Not the talkative type, eh? That's okay. Most people I pick up are just waiting for their turn to talk.
숨이 떡.
Want a raisin?
예?
They're from my farm.
건포도를 농장에서 만들어요?
Sure. California still farms more raisins than anywhere on Earth.
아 그래? 전혀 몰랐어.
Yep, that's right. Some people don't have the slightest idea. Sure you don't want one?
먹어볼게요. 뭐지? 아니 건포도에 뭐 넣었어요?
Guess those things don't agree with you yet. Strange. They're Thompson seedless. Good raisins.
이상한데.
You want to know the clearest evidence that reality isn't real?
예? 뭐라고요? 가르쳐 주시죠.
Raisins and grapes, man. They're the same thing, but they taste disgusting when eaten together.
같이 먹으면 맛이 역하다고.
Obvious bug in the program there,
건포도랑
right?
포도를 같이 먹어본 적이 없어서 모르겠네.
Memory is a slippery thing. Think about when somebody asks you about this ride later, assuming you even know where you're going, and get someplace where somebody can ask you. Hey, how'd you get here anyway? They'll ask you. Oh, I hitched. And your brain will flash back for a second when you say this. And it'll show you a frozen snapshot of yourself, sitting in this car, talking to me like we are right now. But which moment will it actually show you? Will it be this one? Or this one? Or this one?
예?
We think we remember how people really were, how our lives together really were. But when we think back to them, even the people we cared about the most, all we're doing is snatching moments out of the air. Just grabbing another raisin out of the box.
건포도를 많이 좋아하시나
I've spent a
봐요.
lot of time around raisins. They're like those dogs you see with wrinkles of skin falling over their eyes. Not the most handsome dogs. Basically helpless, but lovable. My wife, she preferred grapes the way most people do. She's dead now, but you probably guessed that.
왜 짐작했을 거라 생각하시죠?
Takes one to know one, right? I can always spot someone who's grieving along this highway. They usually stand on the road with a dazed look on their face and their thumb up in the air.
엄지. 우리 예전에 만난 적
No, I
있나요?
don't know you. just know the type.
부인의 어떤 점을 기억합니까?
My wife? If I'm totally honest with you, I don't really remember what she looked like. Remember everything about her. Just not her face.
얼굴만은 기억이 안 난대.
Some people have faces that are easy to remember.
목적이 뭐냐고요? 히치하이킹 하는 거예요.
Doesn't seem fair.
부인이라면 기억해야
Well, it's not
되잖아요.
as easy as you think. I'll give you an example. You think you're present in the moment?
예?
You've been talking to me for a few minutes now. What color are my eyes?
어? 모르겠네. 블루? 오케이.
Yep, not bad. But that's just your photographer's eye.
제가 사진사라고요?
Just figured from your gear. A lot of photographers carry that backpack.
아 이거요? 여기에 저
Tell you what,
칫솔밖에
Ansel
없던데.
Adams. Do me a favor and crack the window, would you?
창문요? 잠깐만요. 여기 있다.
Hey,
와
kid.
이게 아직도
How
있어?
about opening that window? That's better. Now, where were we?
헬프 530-555-0743 헬프라고 적혀 있는데 뭐지?
Were we? What you got there?
성냥첩이네요.
Just a matchbook, huh? I figured it must have been something important
헬프.
because the window is still open.
예? 히치하이커를 자주 태우시나요?
Yeah, fair number. But after a while, you start seeing the same few archetypes over and over. You got the numbnuts Kerouac fans. You got your autodidact blowhards.
느낌이 안 좋지.
They'll talk
너무
your ears off.
저 내리면
You
안
got a lot of people
될까요?
from Cincinnati for some reason. You got your deadheads trying to get to some concert someplace. And then there's the water bottle
비상
person,
탈출해야 되는 거 아니야?
always worrying that they're going to run out of water before they get where they're going. Still, you're the first hitcher I ever picked up who doesn't have a destination. Copernicus. Well, seems like the right name for a guy who's traveling the world without knowing where he's going. You just sit back, Copernicus, and invent a language where false statements are impossible. What?
그런 언어를 만든 사람은 코페르니쿠스가 아니라 코베니우스예요.
Oh, I stand corrected.
찐따. 찐따 간다 찐따. 굳이
You know,
태클 안
when I
걸어도
was a
되는 거에
kid,
태클 걸어버리기.
my brother and I used to drive our parents crazy on long drives like this.
목숨 윌스택 날아갔다고.
Our folks wouldn't let us listen to the radio in the car. So we used to make up these songs about food on long drives to pass the
근데
time.
양발 운전 아니야.
We had this one with about
위험해.
30
빨리 나가야
verses,
돼.
each about a different kind of grain. There was this one time when we passed a billboard for this new kind of bread. Challah bread. In hell they have a hell a lot of challah bread. In hell they have a hell a lot of challah bread. In hell they have a hell a lot of challah bread. In hell they have a hell a lot of challah bread. Oh yeah, that drove mom and dad crazy. Come on, join in. In hell they have a hell a
싫어요.
lot of challah bread. In hell they have a hell a lot
사람
of
살려.
challah bread.
사람 살려.
In hell they have a hell a lot of challah bread. In hell they have a
사람
hell a
살려.
lot of
사람 살려.
challah bread.
미칠 것 같아. 아 사람 살려. 점심 나갈 것 같아.
Actually, I'm beginning to understand my parents' perspective. Getting older is funny. It's like reading a book where less
무서운
and less
아저씨들 괜히
happens,
탔어.
but the writing gets better and better.
그렇구만.
You got that right, kid. Let me tell you.
미스터리
old
어드벤처라고
is
돼
no
있었어요. 태그
picnic.
게임 태그.
Yeah. We used to have a strict division of labor back when we worked together. She would raise the grape from the time it appeared on the vine, and I'd step in as soon as it was time to start drying them. Our customers used to have fun with that. I'm the dry one, they'd say. Grapes attract a certain kind of person. A person who likes to tell jokes.
맞아?
Wine enthusiasts, tourists, people who like to talk.
전 별로 포도 안 좋아하는 것 같아요. 이제 보니까.
There's a photo in that glove box there of us standing in front of our trailer.
이제 보니까 포도
It was
별로
in a
안 좋아하는 것
magazine.
같아요.
One of those stories about vanishing farmers that always pulls heartstrings with the rest of the country. Well, I never opened the glove box myself. It's kind of a superstition of mine.
미신?
But help yourself.
예, 그럼 열어봅시다. 연감 1954년.
Hey, where'd you get that? That's not her. And that guy there, he looks like you.
뭐야? 그럼 이 여자는 누구죠?
I don't know. I was going to ask you the same question, Copernicus. Did he... Who gave this to you?
이건 제 차... 이거
Well, I guess it belongs to you.
내 차도 아닌데?
You'd better hold on to it.
그 여자는 누굴까요?
What woman?
사진 속이요.
Well, oh, her. Well, hard to say. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it.
잠깐만. 이상한데.
What's that black thing in the glove box anyway?
쌍안경이요. 뭐야?
See anything interesting there?
풍차가
A
보이는데요?
windmill, eh?
이 근처인가?
No idea.
뭐지? 닫자. 느낌이 안 좋은데. 냄새나. 소똥 냄새나.
게임이 너무 대놓고 싸한데요.
벨트 풀고 뛰어내려야 된다고? 나도 뛰어내리고 싶다. 어떻게 하지? 이 사진 대체 뭔데 이거? 왜 있는 건데?
Say, want to hear a joke?
뭐 그러세요.
Why did the raisin take the prune to the dance?
포도가 자기를 소개하는 뭐요?
He couldn't get a date.
오 마이 갓!
Hey, that reminds me. It's almost 4:30. You'll like this. It's my favorite. I once knew the hostess, Darlene. She used to change the tires on my truck on Highway 51.
Welcome to another Interstate Riddle Hour. Here's our first riddle. Keep your eyes peeled, all you blacktop carpetbaggers. I fly, yet I have no wings.
날개가 없지만
I
하늘을
fly,
날아.
yet I have
눈이
no
없지만
eyes.
눈물을
운전자
흘리죠.
입장에서 보면
Darkness follows me.
주인공도
어디나
이상한
어둠이
걸
Lower
따르고.
light, I never
틱틱대지
see.
않아 은갈안경을 보는데 어디서도 안 보이는 풍차가 보인다고 하지 않나.
구름 아니야 구름?
Very good.
뭐야?
Here's our next one. A gatekeeper
Yeah.
forever bound. He opens and shuts with a similar sound.
뭐? 뭐라고? 방금 뭐라고 했지? 나 못 들었어. 수수께끼 뭐라고 했죠? 다시 얘기해 주세요.
Need some help?
다시 들을 수 있을까요?
a gatekeeper forever bound.
제자리를
He
지키는
opens
문지기.
and shuts
열고
with a
닫을 때
similar
나는
sound.
소리가 서로 비슷해요. 뭐? 모르겠는데? 힌트 좀
Need
주세요.
some help? Think metal teeth that open and shut.
금속으로 된 요철이 열렸다 닫히는 게 뭔지 생각해보세요. 그냥 문? 근데 문이 선택은 안 되는 거 아니야? 선택이 안...
Need some help? The answer is right between your feet. Very good.
아, 지퍼!
I don't know why I listen to this every day. Damn questions are rigged. I never get them.
Says the guy who never knew what
아니,
pressure to keep his
잠깐만요.
tires at.
Hey!
Having fun? Want to keep going?
아니요.
Okay, let's go to our final riddle then. He lies without touching the ground.
Oh, come on, Darlene. Damn it, Darlene. I should have tipped her better when she changed the tires. She's been out to get me ever since.
무슨 거짓말 했는데?
Look, she isn't being straight with you, kid.
Check the photo, Copernicus. The photo in your bag. Then you'll see.
예? 뭐야?
She's in trouble, Copernicus. You must help her.
어선 일이고.
Things like that happen all the time on this highway. It's nothing to lose your scrunchie over.
달린이랑 다시 얘기해볼래요.
Riddle hour has now ended.
뭐지?
I've helped you all I can this time. So long, Copernicus.
Kid, I am sorry about your girlfriend. But I had nothing to do with it.
뭐지?
It's just the opposite. I was sent to protect you.
응? 예? 누구로부터요?
From yourself. You picked this car every bit as much as I chose to stop for you.
예?
You picked this car, picked me, not to feel anything.
뭘?
Kid, just let it go. There's nothing for you down that road. Nothing but hurt.
믿을 이유가 있나?
Look, I admit I lied, but only about one thing.
우리 예전에 만난 적 있죠?
Yeah, we've met. Twice, in fact.
좋아, 그럼 처음부터 시작합시다.
You showed up at my trailer park taking photos. At first, I was a bit suspicious, since there were plans to kick us out and develop the trailer park into some kind of shopping center. But then it became clear that you'd been sent here by a magazine to do one of those stories about vanishing farmers that always pulls heartstrings with the rest of the country.
왜 처음부터 솔직하게 말 안 했죠?
Kid, I told you, you don't want to go down that road.
진실이 두려운 게
Well.
뭐가 있죠?
What's that they say in that Tom Cruise movie? The one where he's a bartender? Everything ends badly, or it wouldn't end at all. I wasn't afraid of the truth either, back then. My wife, when she got the x-rays, when she knew, she decided to spare my feelings. Didn't tell me anything. Hid the x-rays in one place I'd never suspect, because it was so obvious.
글러브 박스?
Stayed closed until today, till you came along.
말 돌리지 말고 요점만
I
봐.
wish it was that simple, kid.
무슨 뜻이죠? 어? 뭐야?
Hey, Chief. Why don't you have a look here?
갑자기 사람이 생기네? 뭐지?
He appeared on this highway about the same time you did. I guess he's part of what you're running from.
어? 어이? 어떻게 사라졌죠?
Not sure. You can't see him directly. He only shows up in mirrors, windows,
거울
pictures.
사진에서만? 이게 무슨 일이죠?
Well, we haven't talked yet about the second time we met.
그럼 두 번째 만남에 대해 일단 얘기해 보시죠.
That's the thing. It's a little hard to explain. Better if I just take you there.
에?
It's just a quick detour. We'll be there in a minute. But close the window. You don't want to have it open where we're headed.
아, 네. 창문 닫자. 뛰어내려야 된다고?
목격자보다 주인공이 이상할 수 있다는 말 취소할게요. 이거 뭐야?
갑자기 어두워진다. 뭐지? 아저씨 어디 가는 거예요? 점점 더 어두워진다. 뭐지?
A man travels along a road until he reaches a gate at the top of a hill. The road has been long and straight so far, and the going has been easy. But now the man can't go any further, so he takes a seat by the road to rest. The man waits, and after a length of time that seems neither short nor long, the gate opens, and a guard appears.
검포도 먹지 말걸. 문지기에게 출입 요청.
The man asks the guard for entry, but the guard says he cannot let him enter at the moment.
지금은 안 된다.
The man thinks for a second and asks if he will be allowed through later. It is possible, says the guard, but not now.
검포도 먹지 말걸 그랬다.
The gate now stands slightly open, and the man tries to look through it longingly. His journey has been easy so far, and he misses the feeling of the open road. The guard notices and laughs. Even if you could gain entry, there are many gatekeepers after me. Some are much stronger than me, and I'm afraid to look upon them. So there the man waits, for days, months, years, waiting to enter.
오래? 그렇게 오래?
One day, when he's given up hope of entering,
아니, 나도
a
모르게
single
먹어버렸지.
question occurs to him, one he has not thought of before. Why, he wonders aloud, are there no other travelers along this road? All these years, no one but myself has waited in front of this gate. The answer to this question comes from a voice near his shoulder. It is you who made this gate, says a bird perched nearby. So it exists for no one but you. But why? Asks the traveler. Why would I choose to stop here?
먹이를 주자. 알려주셈. 점점점.
The bird answers, after hungrily eating a crust of bread from the man's hand. After this point, the road becomes less straight. It splinters like the tree in which I live, splitting into dozens, hundreds of branches. The path becomes impossibly narrow and frail, and crowded with the view of other paths one could have taken. There's only one point ahead on the road where all paths converge, where all points join, where the light shines through skin and through lies. But it's never been reached by one of your kind, a traveler who walks on feet.
그래서요?
Shoo! Cries the guard, chasing the bird away. Don't listen to his nonsense. Having said this, he takes a seat next to the traveler, but not before closing the gate forever.
문을 닫아버렸어.
So when you think about it, who knows how long we've been sitting here, just like this, on this road. Take it from me. It's better to face things with, what's it called again? Fortitude. Better not to feel too much.
뭐야?
Want a raisin?
아니요.
You sure?
아니요.
You just need to get used to them. Life is like a box of raisins.
아니요, 안 먹어요.
That's some Forrest Gump type wisdom for you right there. Here, I'll leave the box open for you. Help yourself.
아니요, 됐어요. 뭐지 방금? 까마귀. 뭐지?
Look, hooded crows all along this road. I have to chase these for my farm every harvest.
먹어야 되나?
They look hungry. Didn't get much peck out of this last harvest.
까마귀에게 먹이 주기.
You don't want to do that, kid.
에?
These birds are unpredictable. There's no telling what they'll do once they start swarming. Get enough of these crows together and it's big trouble.
아 그래? 하!
You're making a mistake, kid. You don't know where they're taking you. Look, I'll help you. I'll help you figure out what happened when she came back from Europe.
절 속이려고
Look,
했잖아요.
I get that you're mad, and I don't blame you. But you don't know what's out there, kid. What other drivers on this road are like. Stay with me,
하!
and things will play a whole lot safer.
싫어, 진실을 알고
Alright, I
싶어요.
guess you made your choice. Don't blame me for what happens next. Now you've done it. They've taken control of the car.
까마귀가 차를 어떻게 움직이죠?
I don't know, Copernicus. Why don't you ask them?
오, 뭐야? 오, 여긴 어디죠?
We're at my farm, Copernicus. I had a funny feeling. The moment you looked through those binoculars.
아, 아까 봤던 데다. 그러네.
Well, they're pulling us around in circles. They're afraid of the scarecrows I put up here last summer. They want to take us, take you, I suppose, to that windmill in the middle.
허수아비를 까마귀의 반대편으로 향하게 돌리세요. 어떻게 돌리지? 어떻게 돌려요?
You need to rotate the scarecrows. See if you can find something in this car that might do the trick. That's it, kid. Now, more of the same.
이건가? 제대로 안 돌아가는데? 됐다.
Almost there. That's
됐다.
it, kid.
뭐야?
I think it's for you.
뭐야?
They have a way of leaving gifts once you've fed them. Often something shiny or a piece of string.
까마귀를 보니 생각이 날랑말랑하는 것 같아요.
I'm going away for 2 months. I'll be back before you know it. It's practically a cliche. Going to Europe to have new
해외여행
experiences,
혼자
and
갔다
yeah,
왔구나.
it's corny.
혼자 갔다
But
온다는
maybe
거구나.
find myself.
I guess I'm just worried that you'll find yourself but lose me along the way.
I'll be back before you know it. Promise. Here's a security
cheating, you know.
deposit.
What a weird box. Did you win this at the circus?
It's great, right? I'll send you something special from Europe to put inside, so you know I'm thinking of you. And then we have our road trip together when I get back. You won't miss me anyway. You have plenty to keep you busy, like that job in California. The story about the...
The vanishing grape farmers.
포도
You're right.
농부들이
I'm worrying
사라진다는
too much. I love it. Does it lock?
In some other world, it must, but not here. Okay, trade you a memory box for your Polaroid. Say cheese.
이러고 찍은 거였어? 언제 찍은 건지는 기억을 했네요.
Well, now that you know how it started, it doesn't make the next step any easier, does it?
무엇이 기억을 앗아갔는지, 무슨 일이 있었는지
Listen.
알아내야 될 것 같은데.
I disapprove of just about every choice you've made on this trip. But I like you, kid. And I can see you've made up your
거의
mind.
모든 선택이 마음에 안
If
들어.
you want to find your girlfriend, if you want to find out what happened, if you really want to go there, you've got to find that box.
어떻게요?
I don't know, kid. But find that box and the key. Open the box before it's too late. Well, this is where I say goodbye.
예?
Unless you want to help transport 4 bushels across. Nah. Just remember, there are many more gates ahead and many more guards. I'm pretty much the friendly drunken uncle of the bunch.
어? 다른 녀석도 있어?
Well, good luck to you, kid. Oh, one more thing. What did the grape say when he got run over by the car?
보통 당기는 관련됐나?
Nothing. He just gave a little whine. Good luck with your search.
맞다. 오 마이 갓. 아직 얘기만 하고 있어. 써먹자고. 써먹긴 개뿔을 써먹어. 아, 이제 두 번째로 갈 수 있는 거다. 여긴가? 오리건.
It's the second house on the right here. No, wait, the third.
Don't you remember where it is? I thought you spent your whole childhood here.
많이 바뀌었겠지. 우리 옛날에 살던 곳 다 많이 바뀌었는걸.
Do you know what put us on top of the food chain? Do you know? And please don't say opposable thumbs. Plenty of animals have those. Possums, koalas, something called the waxy monkey leaf frog. They're nothing special. Forget about thumbs, okay?
그래.
Memory is what put us here. So many of our dreams are set in the places where we used to live. We want to see them, visit them again. There should be a rule, a kind of a social convention. The old apartment rule. It works like this. We can show up any place we used to live and simply explain, oh, I used to live here. There's nothing strange about it. The people who live there just throw open their doors and invite us in to have a look around. So we can go back home again. So we can be whole. Hey, are you keeping an eye out? Oh dear. I didn't mean to put you to sleep with my talking.
아, 예. 졸았나봐요.
No offense taken. I've been told I have a way of putting my students to sleep as well. We're looking for Asper Street. And at least you...
I see you.
Used to be called that.
스티커도 있네요.
The problem is that... a few years ago, they rearranged
일단 조사할 수 있는 건 다 조사하고.
all the letters of the street signs in this neighborhood.
Save the dolphin.
Very impractical.
이번엔 배낭에 뭐 들어있냐?
I didn't catch your name. I'm up. Ops.
곱수요?
Yes, that's what everyone calls me. Everyone except my students, of course.
질문이 있는데요.
Just a second. Let's find this Asper Street, please, before we begin our inquiries. Like I say, they might have rearranged the letters a bit.
이름이 에스퍼였던 거리 찾기. 글자가 뒤죽박죽일 수 있대요. 어떻게 찾냐 근데? 아 저기 있다. 에스퍼.
Ah, yes, that's it. Very good. So, we're on our way. Now, there was something you wanted to ask.
다음 문지기인 거죠? 처음엔 날 모르는 척하다가 또
Yes, then it's going to turn out that big surprise. I do know you.
예, 라디오에 갇힌 게임쇼 진행자 덕분에 정체가 드러나고요.
A person trapped in the radio?
아무튼 전에 만난 적 있는 거 맞죠?
Oh, yes. We've all met you along this highway. I picked you up because I could tell you're looking for something. Something you've lost.
곱수 씨도 찾고
And
있습니까?
we're all looking for something on this road. I've never met anyone who wasn't.
뭘 찾고
My
있는데요?
dog.
강아지?
Well, she's been missing for a long time now.
강이가 너무 지루해서 가출했나봐요.
Oh, yes. Vern said you were pretty funny. So, Vern mentioned this problem you have with a photo.
건프 농부랑 아는 사이예요?
Sure. Now, I know almost everybody on this road. Well, there's not many of us after all. Excellent raisins that guy Vern has. Did you try one?
아, 예, 먹어봤죠.
Delicious. Am I right? So, okay. Show me this photo.
별로 맛 없던데.
So, you're looking
여기요.
for her. What happened to her?
저도 잘 모르겠는데요. 아직 기억이 다
a
돌아온 것
singed
같진 않아요.
photograph is never a good sign. I'm sorry, though. You don't remember anything?
불길하다고?
Objects are imbued with memory around here and tell stories. Sometimes rather lengthy and pointless ones, to be honest. But not in this instance. Well, I can help you with one part. Now, you two came by my house, yes? See, that's,
아, 저
that's my
뒤에
silo.
있는
There in the
저장고가
background.
이 교수 건가봐. 무슨 일로 왔죠?
Well, there was some kind of an argument. I invited you two in and put the kettle on the stove. You never wound up making it through the front door.
왜 안 들어갔지?
She suddenly had to take a call. You got impatient.
아이요. 누가 전화했는데요?
I don't know, but you didn't seem happy about it. I had the feeling it was a recurring thing. Someone who's in the habit of getting in the way between you two.
그래? 그 뒤로 어디로
If
갔는지
you want
혹시
to know
알아?
what happened to her, why don't you just ask her yourself?
어떻게요?
You haven't asked me yet where we're headed. The warehouse of lost things.
잃어버린 것들의 창고?
Impressed?
할인 매장인가?
Oh, okay. It's this warehouse that contains everything you've ever lost in your life. You can find anything there, even feelings, but you only
찾는데
get
단
15
15분.
minutes to look.
겨우 15분?
Yes, only 15 minutes. It really threw me the last time I was there. I got distracted by some mittens. Yeah, I had
머리도
some
찾을
kids.
수 있냐고?
Left them at a bus stop
그건
sometime in the
모르겠는데.
60s. After that, my parents bought those things that clip your mittens to your coat so it wouldn't happen again.
정말 무엇이든 찾을 수
Well,
있나요? 무엇이든이니까 찾을 수 있을지도.
Shamanic tribes of the Amazon believe that in order to heal, you have to journey into the other world, find the thing you've lost among the spirits, and bring it back. Now, and to think about all the things we misplace. Atlantis, huh? And we lost an entire city once. Why shouldn't we get a second chance just to go back and retrieve some of the things we've left behind?
그래서 거기에 있을 것 같나?
Suppose. Well, I've never looked for people. It definitely works for pets, though. I found several of my dogs there when they've run away from time to time. Stick with me, you'll see. Just keep your eyes peeled. Now, if I remember correctly, it's only about another 20 minutes from here.
20분요? 오래 가야 됐네요. 너무 긴 것 같아 아저씨. 뭐지?
Peculiar.
뭐죠?
It's nothing. Just wondering about this green light. Are you one of these people who's good with cars?
아니요, 운전도 안 하는데요.
I was hoping you might know. I never saw it before until you got into the car.
차 안에 설명서가 있나요?
Car manual. Oh no, that's not the sort of book I keep in here. I'm a humanities teacher. No, I think we'll wait to find a mechanic someplace. Perhaps that part-time quiz show hostess. Ah, the green light. The epic sense of man's urgency. The future that keeps receding from us. Yes, I suppose you've read The Great Gatsby too. It's probably nothing major, just a reminder to get something checked. But what do I know? I'm not the technical sort. Oh, we could ask Lola. Well, she's very good with these things.
달리는 친척인가?
Probably not, young man. Lola's a kind of oracle. Well, she's given me lots of good advice, right from where you're sitting. Besides, more to the point, I'd like to check with her about directions,
한번
just to
찾아
make sure
저
we're going
롤란지
the
하는
right
사람한테
way.
일단 말 좀 해보시죠.
See if you can find her here. No, not a woman. A bear. Well,
Huh?
she's quite small, you see.
곰?
A toy bear. Now, I found her at the World's Fair in Barcelona, 1929, at an exhibition about alchemy. Lola Montez. Well, she's somewhere in this car now. Feel free to rummage around as much as you need.
롤라 몬테스라는 곰 찾기.
What have you got there?
몰라요. 열쇠요.
Interesting. Looks familiar.
여기 있네요, 롤라. 롤라 찾았어요.
Lola. Put her on the glove box lid, my boy. That's where she likes to speak. Yes,
말한다고요?
sometimes directly, sometimes in more of a roundabout way. Lola dearest, now I'm here with this young fellow here, and well, the warehouse. Now it's left up here on Concord Avenue, right? She's not ready to talk yet.
준비?
She's lonely, and she misses her friends.
우리 둘로는 부족한 건가?
It's nothing personal. We're just not magical. Fellow memory objects. That's her preferred company.
기억이
Trinkets
담긴
like
사물?
her, lost and
뭐가 있지?
found many times over the years, imbued with the memories of everyone who's ever claimed them as their own.
아, 곧 다시 배고파질 것이다.
Get enough of them together, and things start to get interesting. The present moment peels back like wallpaper to reveal the past behind it and the future ahead.
그럼 미래를 얘기해 주는 건가?
Her and her friends.
롤라가?
Yes. She's very good. She even remembers my dog's names.
근데 이름이 뭔데요?
The one who's missing. Hops. Like me. Stupid idea, naming a dog after yourself. They constantly think they're being trained. Every time someone you know stops you in the street. Made her a little bit high-strung.
사라진 지는 얼마 됐어?
About 9 months.
예?
Well, no, I
아홉-
couldn't look for her these
아홉 달?
last months. I got a bit detained. Yes, it all started when I was buying some
아홉 달이면
tube
잃어버린 게
I
아니고
was
거의
on the
그냥
escalator,
버린
trying to
거
leave the
아니냐?
mall. Do you ever have that thing where you buy something and you know it's the right thing, but you start worrying about it just as you're leaving? I was staring at the socks, wondering if they were the right length. Now, I knew they were, but I must have not been paying attention. Because suddenly, I slipped down that crack at the end of the escalator, right where you're supposed to step off.
틈새? 말하는 것보다 신기한
Yes,
일인데?
exactly the thing kids are always worrying about, getting sucked down the escalator. Well, first quite quickly, and then very slowly.
뭐야? 나도?
Before you know it, you're banging around in this chute, and then you land at the bowling green. That's what they call the entrance. That's a little area with some onboarding materials and that fake grass carpeting, so the landing isn't so rough. It's the most fantastic place. Under the escalator, just
아요.
vast. Like falling out of bed and landing on the moon.
뭘 하면서 시간을 보내지?
Oh, not much really. There's an old black and white TV that only gets a few channels. There's some old board games just lying around, but they're all missing pieces and instructions. There was one box that promised 8 games in one, but I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to play a single game. A couple of decks of cards, all incomplete. I must have dreamt 20 times that I found the 4 of clubs.
혼자서는 보드 게임도 할 수 없게 물건도 몇 개 빠져 있나 보네. 사람도 있었나?
Oh, no. There were other people there, but not much good for company. Everyone's just waiting to get out. Very poserish scene down there. Let me
아니요.
tell you.
진짜
A lot of
외국인.
stage
멕시코
ennui.
대학원생입니다.
Well, they open the escalator every year on January 1st. Well, clear everyone out. They used to do it more often, but then, well, yeah, budget cuts. I fell in the beginning of April, one of the last cold weekends of the year.
남의 신상을 어떻게
Really
하려고?
tough
자기가 더
thing
많이
to get your
쓰는.
head around, being trapped in there almost the whole calendar year. Pretty much the only thing that passes for excitement there is when somebody new drops in. Pretty quickly, you learn to tell the difference between the real people and the mannequins they drop down to shoot. Sure. Well, that's how they keep everyone fed down there. They stuff mannequins full of food and supplies, put them on the escalator, and just let them slide down the chute. Well, that's a big moment. When they drop the mannequins down, really breaks up the monotony. Everyone rushes over to tear the mannequin apart, to get their hands on the food inside.
마네킹 맞아? 아닌 것 같은데.
Oh, indeed. But I guess it's the easiest way to get the food to slip down the crack. Now, one time, a real guy fell down the shaft and was mistaken for a mannequin. Now, he was half torn to shreds before I pulled him out of there. Poor fella didn't look lifelike enough. Oh, yes. He was really quite beside himself. Now, he gave me his pipe as a token of appreciation for saving him from the mob.
그래서
Well, I
못
still keep it in my
빠져나왔죠?
pocket.
아 그래요? 그러네. 뭐야? 멋진 파이프네요. 예.
Oh, look. Let's give it to her, please. Let's see if she's feeling more sociable. Lola, dear, are you feeling more chatty now? Look, she says her tea party is still missing 2 guests. You see,
물은 더
we just
필요하다고?
need to find 2
물?
more of her friends.
다른 기억의 물건 찾기. 뭐가 있을까요?
Ah, of course. My audiobook about the gulag makes perfect
Gulag?
sense. Only one more object to find now.
왜 이걸 좋아하지?
Oh, well, it's something I used to play for her in the car an awful lot. There was this one story she used to adore.
전화번호
The story,
헬프라고 적혀 있는
well,
폰
it's
넘버.
about 2 guys. In a way, 2 guys like us who were side by side, both waiting for something to happen. Now, these 2 fellas were both prisoners in the gulag.
잠시 소련이
Do you know
있었어요.
what the gulag was? So, the gulag. That was these forced labor camps where they used to send people in Russia, right? The thing is, the gulags weren't closely guarded. It was pretty easy to escape.
왜죠?
Because these camps were often the absolute middle of nowhere. You could escape, but then
탈출을 해도
what would
어디에
you
갈
do?
수가 없으니까.
Well, you'd starve to death. So there was a trick. It was called the sandwich. Now, say you and I wanted to escape the gulag. 2 guys like us, friends. We recruit another guy, a third
같은
guy,
데 돌고 있다고
to
알고
escape with
있습니다.
us. Now, preferably
하지만 어떻게 내가 어떻게
a
할
nice,
수가 없어.
fat, buttery guy. The fat guy was called the sandwich because the idea is that the 2 buddies, us, we'd kill and eat the sandwich on the way home to survive.
아, 그럼 3명으로
It's
가면서
great, right?
1명을
Maybe I didn't tell the story right. Oh, I think mainly just because of the setting. Siberia. Bears love stories about remote places. Well, I haven't told you the best part yet. Well, there was one time these 2 guys escaped with a sandwich. But there was a problem. They finished the sandwich too soon. Didn't ration him out long enough. He was all gone.
너무
And they
빨리-
still had days to walk through the Siberian tundra.
뭐 빨리
These guys were
먹어.
great friends, but they were also hardened criminals. And so they knew that whichever one of them fell asleep would be eaten by the other one. But the code of criminal friendship didn't allow them to acknowledge this. So they had to keep playing it, nonchalant, chatting about stuff, whatever people talked about back then, trudging through the snow.
그래서요? 살았나?
Who? Oh, those 2 convicts. Oh, no. One of them fell asleep and got eaten by the other. But it's their ability to keep face that I always think
아,
about.
그래?
Their honor that couldn't admit any suspicion. I mean, you don't totally trust me, right? Well, I can see you looking out the corner of your eyes. You don't think I know where I'm going.
어? 어떻게 알았지?
Listen, can I ask you an honest question?
그러십시오.
Okay, here it goes. This girlfriend of yours, why is it so important for you to find her? I mean, okay, the burnt photo, damsel in distress, etc., etc. I get it. But if you can't remember anything about her...
We'll always have this.
하나는 기억나요.
See? This is Lola's influence. It's starting to work. You feel it, right?
롤라의 힘임?
All you have to do is find your way back to me.
이름이 기억났어요. 케이라인 것
Let's keep
같아요.
him as our pet.
유리병 속에 잡힌 반딧불이가 있었어요.
You two didn't even mean to capture it. It just flew into the empty bottle.
창고에서 찾을 수 있을지도?
Well, for your sake, I hope so. I think you know. You're like me. The past is the only place left for us. When we were young, we thought the past could only tie us down. Everything we wanted, freedom, lay ahead on the open road. Well, that was yesterday, and this is today. Now the past is all you've got, and the future is full of pain.
고통.
Well, when we get to the warehouse, remember to keep an eye out for a firefly in a glass bottle. It shouldn't be hard to spot. They tend to keep that place
어두우면은
pretty
찾기
dimly
쉽겠지.
lit.
그래서 도착은 언제 하죠, 아저씨? 자꾸 똑같은 데만 가시는데. 뭐야?
Oh, look.
아니요, 건포도는 됐어요.
Looks like Vern started doing some advertising. I guess he's finally decided to take matters into his own hands. Normally he's so stoic, letting things take their own course, never complaining.
건포도는 싫어요.
Well, he was just trying to
진실을
help
숨기려고
you.
했다고.
Seems like you can use it. You're totally infected with this frontier spirit, am I right? Always move ahead, always continue along the two-lane blacktop. Maybe Vern exaggerates a bit, but at least he knows these parts. You should turn back here. No, I'm serious.
왜 주변을 자꾸
It's just
살피시죠?
Lola. Blast nothing.
길 잃었죠?
Someone changed the street signs. Him. He's been here. I swear it was the second left past the red house. But don't worry. We'll find it. It's right around here.
차 안에 지도는 없어요?
No, it seems to have disappeared along with the car manual. I just want to find my dog. These streets all look the same. This is worse than falling down an escalator. Here, take this. See if you can figure out which way is east.
뭐야? 나침반이
Are
아닌데요?
you sure? I mean, look through it and see if it tells you which way is east.
만화경인디? 이딴 걸 보고 어떻게? 어이 뭐야? 에헤이! 모르겠어요.
No luck, huh? Well, maybe it does something useful.
롤라한테 좀.
Oh, listen. She's starting to talk. Hopefully we can get out of this maze now and head on our way. Lola, dear, this young man and we're looking for... She's saying something. Something about you.
뭐라고?
A car crash? No. He's fine. Well, just look at him. She thinks you've caused some kind of accident.
사고?
I can vouch for this young man, Lola. Well, he's been with me almost the entire afternoon.
나한테는 안 들리나 봐.
She says she knows who you are and that she wants to help you. She's gathered these memory objects for a purpose.
이걸
For you to
합치라고?
put together. To bring you earthly knowledge, she says.
뭐야? 작아진다.
Very
사라졌어.
peculiar.
뭐야? 기억의 물건 조합하기. 이게 아닌가? 아닌 것 같은데. 요렇게인 것 같고. 카메라 모양? 됐다. 무슨
Well,
일이죠?
isn't that something? It's alchemy, my boy. Art. A camera. Your means for turning water into wine, redeeming the past, renewing memories.
뭘 찍어야 하는
Well,
건가?
nothing needs redeeming more than the American suburbia. Now, am I right? Americana, where the surreal intermingles with the mundane. Here's your chance, my boy. Create a photo journal. Win some awards.
어떻게요? 이딴 걸로 찍을 수 있어?
Firefly, sent directly from your memory, I suppose, to guide you. Oh, hello there, Lampyridae.
와우, 사진이 나왔어요. 20살은 젊어 보이는데요?
Oh, those sideburns. Don't let my students get a hold of that.
머리숱이 생겨버렸다고.
I think they're not done yet. They want you to take more photos. They want to show us the way, but they can only do it through photos.
여기 있다. 어디 가는 거지? 저거? 난가?
Gee, I didn't notice him standing back there.
아닌데
Should we go
그
back and pick him up?
사진이랑 거울 이런 데서만 나오는 걔인가?
Who is that guy anyway? You don't sound
사진
very
거울
glad to
그런
see
데서만
him.
보인다는?
I think they're not done yet. They want you to take more photos.
저기 있다. 저기 있다. 아니 자꾸 집으로 들어가. 찾기 힘들게 이 녀석들. 안 들어간다. 이 녀석들이 똑바로 가라고. 똑바로 정확하게 사진 찍어야 될 곳으로 가라고. 이 녀석들. 저거다. 뭐지? 트레이딩 포스트 오픈.
Trading post, huh? Interesting proposition. I expect you get something rather valuable in exchange for this particular camera.
다음 반딧불이 출발해주세요. 그런 무시무시한 팅커벨 말고 그냥 반딧불이라고. 어디 갔어? 안 보여. 저기. 갑자기 분위기 모넌. 쭉 따라가면 갑자기 넬기간테 이런 거 있는 거임? 아니지, 넬기간테 파란색으로 나오나? 웨어하우스. 아, 닫았대.
What? It can't.
닫았다고 적혀 있는데?
No, no, my dog. How? If I can't find her in the past, I don't have a chance of finding her in the future.
기억을 되살리십시오.
Oh, that was just nonsense I said to cheer you up.
예? 반딧불이가 한 번 더 도움이 될지도 모르겠군요.
I just want to find my dog.
사기친 거였어. 무한 로딩 걸린다고요? 버그겠지. 새로 고침하면 되지 않을라나? 저걸 쭉 따라서 가면은 언젠가는 나올. 어디 갔어? 저쪽 있다.
Is that a dog collared in the street?
어? 개를 찾은 것
I
같은데?
suppose. But what's happened to her? She's invisible. She's lost in time since the warehouse closed its doors. That's it. Capture her with that camera of yours.
찰칵. 댕댕스. 댕댕스 사진 나왔어요.
Oh, you're a good dog, Hobbs. You ran past the funny mailbox through a door, and we'll find you, don't worry. We've got to find that house.
그건 아저씨가 찾으셔야죠. 나보고 찾으라고요? 찾기도 더럽게 힘들겠구만, 그지 같은 거.
That's the one.
저긴가 봐요.
Hang on.
뭐 좀 알아보시겠어요?
Look, the silo. That's my house. Funny how you can come upon the very place you live and not even recognize it. All depends on the angle you... Hey! There's Hops! Thank goodness. Oh, I've almost got her back. Listen, I didn't realize the warehouse was closed, but we must do it
홉스
again.
달려간다
Now,
저기.
you have to promise me, pinky promise, that we're going to meet again in a year, okay?
예?
This same spot. We won't exchange contact info or anything like that. We'll keep it old school. Meet here in 1 year's time. What do you say?
아니요, 돌아올 일 없을 것
Sorry to
같아요.
hear that, young man. People like to say that you can't live in the past. Well, look at me. I'm living proof to the contrary. Look, your fireflies are back.
어디? 그러네.
Seems like they're waiting to give you one last memory.
홉스의 집. 안 올 거야.
Hops, wait for me.
뭐야? 홉스 찾으러 그냥 가버렸어. 그럼 나는?
I just think it would be fun to ring the bell. I lived here my entire childhood. I feel like I have the right.
Sure, but we better make it quick. Lots of driving to do still.
띠링. 어,
Hello.
홉스인가 보다.
What can I do for you two?
This is gonna sound funny, but
Not at all. Come right in.
oh, sorry, I've got to take this.
와, 차까지 주려고.
To me, it's perfect here. I don't understand what's so great about our life in Seattle.
뭐 여기도 시애틀.
Don't you ever think about making a
시애틀은 위험해
change?
얘들아. 비가
Sure,
내린다고.
but this isn't the kind of change I had in mind. I get it. You grew up here, so it's your baseline of normal. This just isn't my idea of an adventure.
Adventure. It's real here. It's a good place to grow up, to have children. At least it was for me. I can always find myself here. Same stars, same fence,
오늘은 시애틀
same
특집
mailbox.
그런 건가? 자, 트레이딩 포스트. 나왔죠? 상자 나왔다.
Hey, you need a ride someplace?
뭐야? 세 번째.
Listen, I'm not your girlfriend,
아, 예, 그런 것 같아요.
and I'm not your mother.
사진이랑 많이 다르더라고요.
But you'd better finish that pickle.
예?
Or else, I'm stealing it.
아, 예, 뭐 드세요. 누구세요?
Me? I'm a waitress, dummy. Waitresses have to be whatever people want them to be.
한지 오래됐습니까?
Well, feels like forever. At this point, it's less what I do and more who I am. But not Thursdays.
오케이, 일단 상자가 생겼어요. 이제 열쇠도 찾아야 돼요.
Today's my day off.
쉬는 날인데 오게
That's okay.
미안합니다.
It's nice to sit on the other side of the counter for a change and see how the other half lives.
좀 작은 잠깐만. 그런가? 단테스 디너라고 돼 있나 지금?
This music, isn't
그러네.
it dreamy?
저기
I
뭐
can
살짝
tell we
보였어.
have some things in common. We both have to live by our wits. Hitchhiking isn't an
영옥인가?
easy trade. Waiting tables isn't either. I'll show you what I mean.
단테
Corned beef hash with 3 eggs over easy, whole wheat toast and hash browns. 2 eggs scrambled with bacon, sausage, English muffin, and french fries with mayo instead of ketchup. 3 eggs over easy with well done bacon and a side salad. Hold the toast,
뭐야, 이거?
Greek omelet with well done hash browns and white toast. A short stack of blueberry pancakes, coffees all around, and 1 Diet Coke.
뭐라고요?
So, how many orders of toast were there?
예? 뭐요? 뭐라고요? 다시 해봐.
Okay, here it is. Corned beef hash with 3 eggs over
Corned beef
easy,
hash,
whole wheat toast and hash browns.
toast 하나.
2 eggs scrambled with bacon, sausage, English muffin, and french fries with mayo
마요.
instead of ketchup. 3 eggs over easy with well done bacon and a side salad. Hold the
토스트
toast,
빼고,
Greek omelet with well done hash
김밥
browns and
토스트
white toast. A
둘.
short stack of blueberry pancakes, coffees all around, and 1 Diet Coke.
이런
So,
제-
how many orders of toast?
뭐? 두 개 맞나?
Yep. Well, unless you count the English muffin. Then it's 3.
어? 기억이
Well,
예전 같지
you must have been doing
않은데.
something right to have made it this far. I figure there's an art to hitching a ride. You have to be able to read people very quickly. Waiting tables is no different. You get to know what people want before they know what they want. It's a sixth sense.
뭘 알아차렸지?
When I picked you up, with you it was easy. Your mind is an open book.
그래?
Seeing you wandering through that street in the suburbs, clutching that strange blue box like a talisman, I could see that you needed a good rest, a good meal, and a
뒤에
dose
저거
of friendly
뭐지, 저거?
advice from someone who's looking out for you. It's good you managed to lose Hops back there. Let me guess, did he try to make you promise to meet him again? Yeah, we've all made a few of
계속
those.
사람이 살짝
This highway is
영혼이
practically
살짝
paved with
보이는데.
broken oaths sworn to Hops, patron saint of useless stuff. He doesn't mean badly, Hops. He's just a bit stuck in the past. That's why he has all that junk in his car.
뭐야?
Can't let go of anything. Can't change. People like to solve problems with the tools they understand. Hops thinks all the useful tools are in the glove box of his own memory. That's why it's good you got clear of him. He's a bad influence for someone like you.
그래 뭐 여기가 마음에
That's
든다
good.
약간.
You can't live in the
마음에 들진
past.
않지만 아무튼 그렇다고 하자.
Well, judging by the faces in this place, you can't live in the present either. Look at these blue screen zombies. Everyone glued to their phones. Depressing.
물컹거리지 않는 피클을 검색하고
Very
있는 거지.
funny. That sense of humor will serve you well when our new robot overlords take over. Living dead all around us. Not you two, though.
나랑 누구?
You and your girlfriend.
Ah.
You were very much animated. Although, maybe not in a good way. That was some argument.
여기서?
You were right over there, sitting at the counter.
뭘로 싸우고 있었는데?
Well, I'm not one to eavesdrop. Something about text messages
우리
being
남기지
present.
말라고.
The usual suspects when it comes to couple arguing somewhere in public in the
닉네임고
21st century.
필요하니님 4개월째부터
I only
감사합니다.
caught the end of it.
맞습니다.
It was one of those things that suddenly boils over. One moment you were sitting there having your strawberry rhubarb pie and trying to figure out where the next gas station is. The next moment, when I came back with your check, there was this big scene with you storming out the door.
많이 늘었네.
I just want to be sure there's no trouble on my watch. Like I said, it died down pretty quickly. She hung around for another 20 minutes, mainly talking on her phone. Then she got her stuff and left. Seemed like she was making a
뭐야,
plan
저것도?
to meet somebody.
뭐 들은 거 있어?
Nope. See, I'm not that nosy. But when I was wiping down the counter, I found this. Have a look. You might find it interesting.
아르거스 가스.
Weird, right? Gets weirder though. Check out the back.
이제 다시 돌아간다.
Seems like some kind of rendezvous.
그렇지?
I mean, I figure that's not your card. Beats me. I just work here. Sorry, Copernicus. I've helped you all I can this time.
도와준 게 맞긴 해. 도와준 것도 없는 것 같은데.
Sure, I can drop you off there once we get out of here.
어떻게 나가는데? 오이 먹어야, 이제 피클 먹어야 나가냐?
Pass me the menu, will you?
아 이거?
I want to
자.
see if they have the seasonal milkshakes in yet.
뭐야?
Aw, look at that. It's like a little map of your adventures.
지도 있다 지도. 단테스 디너 입구. 아르거스는 좀 더 가야 있네. 한 반 정도 더 가야 되네.
How convenient. Even your gas station is there. Did you notice? It's a typical sign, you know,
뭔
of a
징조?
lucid dream. Random happenstance, strange coincidence. This might be a good time to test if you have superhuman strength or can fly or something. I think I'll have peppermint mocha or vanilla caramel.
여기 고객 응대가 좀 느린 것
Yeah,
같아.
haven't seen our waitress in a while. Jeez, I'd kill for a shake right now.
지금 현실이 아니면 쉐이크가 뭔 상관이야? 근데?
Well, things become real when we invest meaning in them. When we make them real.
그래?
It's not a theory. There's a poem about this. A guy is having an argument with his friend. He's freaking out because the meaning of every word, everything, every idea seems to be falling apart. After a while, I understood that talking this way, everything dissolves. Justice,
저 뒤에 저것도
time,
복사된다.
hair, woman, you, and I. Exactly. Booth, menu, you, I, mustard, mustard. It all starts to dissolve.
누가 쓴 거야?
It's my day off reading.
로버트 하스. 어떻게 됐는데?
Well, he remembers this lover he had, and that helps him get his head screwed on straight again. Well, in a sense. It's more that he thinks back to what it was like when they were together, and the different memories come together and leave him with a sense of specificity. That things are real and not just a big pile of words and concepts and stuff that fall apart the moment you try to squeeze them tight. He thinks back to
계속
when he
뒤에서
was a
뭐가
boy
날아다녀.
and remembers this river where he would try to catch the little orange silverfish called pumpkin seed.
실제로 있는 시인이라고요? 아 그래?
That's nice, right? Feels good to say. Pumpkin seed. Makes things feel more real. Look at me. Don't forget me. See me for who I am. Pumpkin seed. You'd be surprised. You wouldn't believe how much people project their weird bullshit on me. It's the curse of the diner waitress. Less a real person and more a blank screen.
케찹 보지 말라고?
Oh yeah, plenty of that. But also just these cliches people have with diners. I can't tell you how many swingin' dick Detective McGurks I've met in this place. Give me a coffee as black as a moonless night, darling. Shit like that. Are you sure about that? Or is that just what you want me to be?
이 녀석 또 움직인다.
You don't seem to realize that you're the one pulling the strings in here.
어? 그래? 조종한다는 느낌이
Well,
없었는데.
everyone has an agenda. People think they come to a diner for food,
뭐야?
but they're really looking for something much more
갑자기
profound.
점수가 됐어.
They want something. And at the end, they settle up. You bring the bill, and they have the chance to make good again. Everybody wants to be forgiven. It's a simple transaction. You're no different. Well, there's that box you're carrying around and want to get open.
내가
You're
먹었어?
here looking for answers, but only the warm, cuddly kind. You're not going to hang in when it starts getting
나
heavy.
저거 본 적 있어. 김밥 천국에서 뜨거운
It's not just
장국
you.
저렇게 움직여.
This
맞아.
whole modern problem of people not really being present,
장구이 지 맘대로
it's
움직인다.
everywhere. And technology only makes it worse. Once the robot doubles started showing up, that was the tipping point. Robot doubles. The first models were so expensive, only Silicon Valley types could afford them, like electric cars. But pretty soon, it got to the point where basically anybody could afford a robot double of
Jesus.
themselves. You could pick one up at Walmart, one aisle over from the toilet paper and the firearms. Even the company that produces my cheap-ass phone started them. They claimed they were on a mission to disrupt the human space. I hate that word, disrupt. Pretty much anything you want. But there's where you have to be careful. It acts like you, but it only performs at about 70% of your capabilities. It's you, after a bunch of drinks. So, if you're smart, you only trust it to do really simple things for you. Go to the post office, jury duty, fill in for you at your boring job. But people are lazy. They grow dependent on their robos, use them for all kinds of things they shouldn't, making complex calculations, blowing up boulders. People send their robos off to be with their wives, their families, while carrying on affairs. Check it out. Imagine you and I are in a relationship. Then you notice I'm acting a little slow. My eyes aren't focusing quite right. Like this. Look. See it? So now you realize that I've just stuck you with a pile of bolts for the evening. Right, so here we are.
그럼
Two
로봇끼리
dummies
데이트를
out
하게
on a
되는
date
거야?
together. Would your robo be smart enough to know that I'd sent mine?
둘이 서로한테 그걸
Right.
말할까?
And would she then tell me, or would she keep me in the dark? All kinds of ethical issues, right? I don't know. I know you're trying to make your eyebrows move weirdly just to mess with me. Did someone stand me up with a robo? No, not exactly. It's more about this thing that happened to me at work once. Not here, dummy. In my former life as a flight attendant.
어?
Grab
전생?
that thing and pull up a chair. I'll tell you all about it.
이거?
You feel like a sack of bolts yourself doing these safety demonstrations. People are zoning out, staring at their phones like the blockheads in here, or else just leering at you like you're the first woman they've ever seen wearing a uniform. But you start getting good at spotting the doubles. They're often the only ones paying
그러네. 딱
attention,
이게
staring at you
너무
with those
인간
not
같지
quite
않게
human eyes of
쳐다보는데.
theirs. Technically, no, they're not supposed to be there. But like I said, people bend the rules, and security rarely checks. They're fine on the runway, perfectly docile. But something goes wrong at altitude, something about the navigation system. The FAA wanted to study it, but the study got shut down because you're not supposed to have them on
올라가면
aircrafts in the
맛이
first
가는
place.
거야?
So yeah, I learned to spot them right away. It becomes a job requirement, a matter of survival. Here, try your luck. Have a look at the table. So, 1 mustard, fine. 3 mustards, not so fine. The one on the left is the real one. See if you can track it.
오케이.
Keep your eyes on the prize. 10 will get you 30.
이거.
Very good. You have successfully enforced airline regulations. Want to play again?
아, 됐어.
So, where was I? Pick that up again, and I'll show you what happened next.
잠깐만, 저거 움직이는 것도 있냐? 너 확인해보고.
One time, we were doing a flight into Galveston, and we had a sudden drop of cabin pressure about 100 miles from our destination.
로봇 때문에?
No, but imagine this. Everyone's freaking out. I'm trying to help a girl with her arm in a cast to get her oxygen mask over her head. Suddenly, I'm aware of this Frankenstein monster lurching towards me. The robos, they're like an army of the undead. I don't know if they were affected by the sudden change in cabin pressure or what, but they just lost their shit. People are screaming, and we're huddled together like a band of villagers with pitchforks to fight these things, throwing crap at them from the drink cart, locking them in the toilets, and so on. Luckily, they started fritzing out on their own, like Hal in 2001 when his brain starts melting. Let me tell you, as soon as we got over water, adios! Out you go, robos! Threw 'em
저게
right out of the
로봇이 아니고
cabin doors.
사람이면 어떡하려고.
Throwing the robos off the plane? No, you're right. That didn't actually happen.
그렇게 될 리가 없지.
You can't just open the hatch door like that. But it's a nice image, right? I like to think of it sometimes when I'm lying in bed trying to sleep. Kinda. You need practice to be able to spot them. They're everywhere these days. I can see one in this diner right now, in fact. Can you find it?
로봇 복제 인간 찾기. 이 식당 어딘가에 있습니다.
That's right. The king. Can you believe it? God, I miss the king. They say that it was the first robot double prototype ever made. He actually sent it off to act in some of those cheeseball movie roles he had. That's why they were so bad. Am I? Says the guy who called his own girlfriend a robot. I seem to recall you standing right there, complaining, it's like eating lunch with an automaton. You really don't remember anything? What you were fighting about? What happened next?
기억이 안 나.
Well, I've got a little game that might help you remember. It's kind of like a telephone seance. Ready?
아니, 소리가.
Hello? Is that you?
아이. 오케이, 그쪽은 누구죠?
This is your girlfriend. Yes, it's me. I'm calling from beyond the grave.
반갑다.
So, who are you with right now? Am I interrupting you? Why'd you bring me back here of all places? Of all the restaurants we've been to? Couldn't you have summoned me to that place with the sour cream pierogi?
여기 쉐이크도
See,
나쁘지
I
않은
told
것
you
같아.
this is a good game. Okay, so, I'm your girlfriend. Somehow, I'm not with you now, and you don't know why. Except, I am with you right now. That pretty much sum it up?
여기서 누굴 만난 거야?
No, this is my game. I get to ask the questions first.
오케이.
What's with this gas station you're trying to get to? What are you hoping to find there?
모르겠니?
We need to get gas in a sec. Hey, stop it!
It's like we
싸웠어.
spend 1 year falling in love and the next 4 breaking up, right? What took so long? Were you just afraid of being alone? Or maybe you didn't want to be the guilty one, the one who blows things up and hurts me. Were you waiting for permission from me to end it? Waiting for me to give you...
갑자기 점점 색깔이 이상한... 뭐지?
Exactly. Waiting for an excuse.
번역은 괜찮은 것 같은데.
What? You
상처를
didn't want
주고
to
싶지
break
않았어.
anything. You couldn't get over the idea that this great future we were supposed to have could just be wiped out. The beacon we'd always talked about, our light in the bottle, gone. You left it to me. Put it on me to do what needed doing. Well, I finally gave you the sign you were looking for, right over at that counter there.
뭐지?
You guys need anything else, or you're okay for now?
We're fine, thanks.
You do anything to make it different, right? To fix things.
케이라?
I can take you to that gas station, and I can be her for you. Together, we'll open the box.
그럼 완전히 지는 건가?
You can make it happen. You can make it real. What do you say? Miss the old times? Let me be her.
그건 좀 아닌 것 같은데.
Okay, your choice. Now it's your turn. You can ask me one question, whatever you want.
어딨냐?
In trouble. It's cold here. The ropes. The man on the phone.
여행사 사람?
Yes, the one I was texting when we were eating lunch. The man with many eyes.
많은 눈?
Yes. He has 10 eyes, like this. No. He wears them around his wrist, like a bracelet.
손목에 두르고 있다고? 그거 아니야? 저거 찜질방
Even while he
키
sleeps,
그런 거
a
아니야?
few of them keep watch, their eyes open. He also wears an orange vest.
주황색 조끼?
Find the man with many eyes, and his friend, the man with mirror eyes. They're the ones who did this to me. Close your eyes.
감는다. 방금 앞에 뭐 생겼는데?
Hey, where'd you go? It's like you went somewhere else there. Having some irresistible dream? Good for you. Reality is always the best policy. Speaking of reality, the check has arrived.
계산하고
Works
가자.
for me. What's the sudden rush?
거기에 붙잡혀 있는
Are
거
you
같거든?
sure? If you're lucky, maybe she hasn't even gotten to the gas station yet.
명함에
Well, the card has Thursday 4 p.m. written on it, right? That was 2 days ago. And need I remind you that today is...
목요일.
Yeah. If we leave now, we can beat her there by nearly an hour and find out who's waiting for her.
먼저 도착하면
Well, that's
그냥
easy.
여자친구
If I'm made up to look like her, he'll give himself away as soon as we arrive. I have a few wigs in the car.
위험하지 않을까?
Well, that's the thing. You'll be waiting in the car with my phone. You can call the police the moment anything looks funny. And like I told you, I'm an expert shapeshifter. Come on. Time to be forgiven. And time to hit the road. Time to pay the check so we can get out of here.
오케이, 일단 사진이다.
머스타드고 나발이고 머스타드고 나발이고 그냥 빨리 사건 들고 앞에 있는
This thing about
여자가
robots is
무시무시한
chilling.
외계인으로
It says that 60% of the workforce won't have a job in 20 years.
연막탄 터지면서
Hey, can you put down your phone for 3 seconds? I'm trying to have a real human
기승전
connection with you.
닌자가 이거.
I'm so tuned out. It's like I'm eating with a robot.
I'm sorry, I know. We need to get gas in a sec. You can tell me about it while we're in the car.
Would you put that thing away?
Hey, stop it! Come on, let go!
Who is that? Who are you writing to?
God, keep your voice down.
미네소타인가?
I've been driving for ages. I just need to space out a little.
A little? It's like you're a million miles away.
Can you just give me a break, please?
We were just taking a break, remember? Now we're back together, but I feel this is the last place in the world you want to be.
Well, that's what I'd call a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Ain't love grand?
다 버렸는데?
Come on, let's get out of here.
오케이, 가자. 사실 그냥 헤어졌던 게 아닐까? 지금은 질척대고 있는 게 아닐까?
How do I look?
다른 사람이 되셨는데요? 진행도
Don't
되는
worry,
건지 모르겠네.
it'll work. I'm good at this. I'm a very apt pupil. A very apt pupil. Here, take my
사실-
phone. Call for help the moment
사실
something looks
여자친구가
fishy.
없는 거였을지도? 상상 속의 여자친구였다면? 아, 예, 가발 썼어요, 가발. 변장 잘한다고. 아, 휴대폰 개꾸진 거 봐.
Shoot.
내가 여자친구랑 싸웠다고 했지.
Right?
그리고 내가 먼저 박차고 나왔다고.
I did, yes.
근데 내 기억엔 안 그렇던데?
Right, it was her.
여자친구가 먼저 나갔어.
Yes. And?
원래 누가 나간겨?
Listen, there's something at the end of this road that you don't want to find.
찾고 싶은지.
You do, and you don't. If you only wanted to find it, there wouldn't be all this conflict.
찾고 싶기도 하고 찾기 싫기도 하다. 그래갖고 지금 마음속에서 내면서 갈등이
Drivers
일어나는
lying
건가?
to you, drugging you with raisins, all the little glitches, things that don't make sense, the static. It's hardly been a smooth ride, has it?
그렇지.
I'm just saying, there are two sides to every story, right? The argument back at the diner, maybe there was something missing for her. Something missing between the two of you. Have you stopped to think for a moment about why you keep finding these photographs? Why they are so important to you? They're a way of capturing reality, right? They're objective, but they're also you.
마늘 포함하기다.
They tell the story you want them to tell. That camera of yours, it's a weapon too. Take a photo of me, and in the photo, I'll never change. I'll never grow away from you.
믿을 수 없을지도.
Well, let's test that hypothesis. So, what did you learn back there from your photo?
내 여친이 통화 상대 남자 바람을 피우고 있었던 것 같아.
Oh?
그랬던 것 같아.
Oh. You have my phone. Why don't you call it then?
아, 번호가 다 보이진 않는데.
And you think he's also this man with all the eyes? Hey, you said he has 10 of them, right?
그래, 팔찌처럼 두르고 있다.
Have another look at that card. 10 little eyes. See him?
아, 그러네. 맞네.
Freaky, right?
예리하네.
Well, almost there now. Time to get in character. Sure,
뭐야.
I can't see a thing. What gives?
아,
I can't. The car is jammed somehow.
뭐지 저기? 번쩍번쩍 하는디? 앞에 차.
What the hell?
앞에.
Watch it, buddy.
뭐지? 무슨 일이지 도대체? 예! 도움! 갑자기 트렁크.
Hello.
뭐지?
Copernicus? Is that you? Let me
살려주세요.
guess. You've gotten yourself into some
도와주세요.
kind of
납치됐어요.
jam. Swinging by your toes over a tiger cage?
납치된 것 같아요.
Kidnapped? That doesn't sound like part of your dream. Then again, you do have a way of making enemies. Who'd you piss off this time? I sincerely doubt that. The fact that I'm hearing your voice now suggests otherwise.
대체 저한테 왜 이러는 걸까요?
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. You've sworn to deceive me, Vern. I'm going to feed the birds now. I want to know the truth. Look where that got you.
예, 뭐 그런갑죠.
Speaking of which, did you find the box, Copernicus?
아, 예, 찾았죠.
Have you opened it yet?
열쇠를 못
Figure
찾았어요.
out a way to open that box, Copernicus. Inside, you'll find out who you really are.
도움이 될까요?
Don't mess with him, kid. He's the final gatekeeper. Way too strong. You need to learn the spell first, before you can go up against him.
아, 그래? 무슨 주문?
Hey, if I knew it, I'd tell you. But let's start by getting you out of that box. Lucky for you, I've got my farmer's almanac here. Let's have a look. Hang on. See, cabbage, caraway, carrot, car trunk. First thing you should do is reach around for the latch. Sounds kind of obvious.
걸쇠를 찾는다. 걸쇠는 안 보이는 것 같아.
Okay, next step. See if you can scare up the brake lights. Can you find them? It's a little gizmo with some wires.
요건가? 찾았어요.
Okay. Yank on the wires and try to pull the lights into the trunk with you.
땡겨.
Got them?
아!
What color are the
내
lights?
눈 빨간색이요.
We need a green light, kid. A steady green light. That's the way forward. Gotta run now. Good luck to you, kid.
녹색으로 해야 돼. 어떻게 바꾸지? 죽여. 다른 건 안 알려주고. 아, 이제 내가 이렇게 해야 되는 건가? 녹색이랑 분홍색이 어떻게 같이 되지? 이게 일로 또 껴지나? 아, 이게 파란색을 쓰면 안 된다는 소리구나. 아, 파란색이래. 플러스를 쓰면 안 된다는 소린가 보구나. 분홍색도 쓰면 안 되니까 마이너스 파란색 플러스 동그라미. 일단 동그라미가 요거밖에 없지. 요거 하고 녹색 분홍색은 안 된다. 그럼 녹색은 안 된다. 플러스를 해야 된다. 마이너스가 없다. 잠깐만. 요거를 일로 붙이고 일로 붙이고. 됐다. 뭐야? 저기요.
ما أدري شو بدي تسوي بسيارتي
예,
بس
뭐라고요?
من خبرتي بهذا المكان راح تسح بعدين
영어로요.
English.
English please.
آسف ما أدري هاي مو صدق بس أنا أشعر به كاني منصدق حجة سعر
예.
كل شيء هنا إلها دلالة رمزية السترن الجير ولا القرن على الدشبول
무슨 말인지 모르겠어요.
هسا حتى لو أحد إيدي من السترن
أي بورا
السيارة
يطبقوا.
من كيف تمشي عدل إيه معود على كيفك أريد أوقف
뭐요? 제인작. 정면 열자. 뭐지? 트렁크에서 벗어나세요라고 돼 있는데? 여기도 트렁크야 혹시?
And the tyrants was yellow is the down the volcano try to find an image of you. And the sweet fireflies, they dance in the night. They are stumbling on my way back to you. sitting here, my gaze is drifting over the horizon.
이제 영어로 하셈.
English? No, sorry. I could, of course, back in the
됐다.
real world, but it doesn't seem to have come with me into this place.
지금은 영어인데요?
To me, this sounds like Arabic. I guess it depends on one's perspective.
라디오로 맞춰서
As
될 수
long as you're
있다고.
not going to start shouting at me again, it's an improvement.
왜 당신 트렁크에 있었죠?
How would I know? It's not even my car.
아 그래? 그럼 왜 운전해요?
No idea. I find myself behind the wheel here night after night. And the trunk, that's my dream too. You don't want to know how many hours I've spent in there, trying to shift my legs to keep them from falling asleep.
그럼 누가 데리고 왔죠?
Why should I know? What makes you think you can turn up out of thin air and interrogate
그럼
me?
갑자기
Who are
트렁크에
you
사람
anyway?
집어넣는 건 예의냐고요? 이름 뭔데요?
I'm not sure actually. But here, it's funny.
그러네. 목에서
On
막
this
손이
highway,
번쩍번쩍하는데
everybody
뭐야?
calls me Al-Shatir.
사람이 아닌 것 같아 아무리 봐도.
Copernicus, huh? Suddenly,
로봇.
this doesn't
맞아.
seem so
아까
arbitrary.
전편에서 로봇 얘기했었는데 로봇인 건가?
Never heard of Ibn al-Shatir? A famous astronomer. I guess you don't learn about him in your schools. One of the forefathers of astronomy. In many ways a predecessor to...
코페르니쿠스요?
Yes, that's right. Copernicus, Al-Shatir. Two iconoclasts from different lands who challenged the belief that the sun revolves around the earth. Two dreamers who had the conviction that their unique consciousness is not the only thing in the center of the universe. Maybe you're not just part of my story, like I'm not part of yours. You were trapped in the trunk, where I've been many times. It's like you've wandered into my dream, and I've wandered into yours.
꿈이 겹쳐진 건가? 어떻게 그럴 수가 있지?
How should I know? Somehow the streams have crossed. Disturbance in space-time continuum.
모르겠네 저도. 열쇠 찾아야 열쇠 어딨냐 열쇠. 그래서 무슨 꿈을 꾸는데요?
Yes, safety. A place far away
아직
from
눈에
wars.
초점이 없다고?
From bombings.
로봇이 만든 건가?
From the cockroaches that crawl out as soon as the dust settles.
로봇이
On the news, you
눈에
hear
초점이
only
없다고
about
했거든요.
armies and religious madmen. But it's the gangsters that drove me away. They're the ones who did this to me.
무슨 폭력배요?
The El Mahdi army. They called themselves an army anyway. They were looking for my brother-in-law because he worked as a translator for the US military. Neighbors warned us we should move, and so we did, twice.
What?
Yes, twice. No sooner had we moved the first time than neighbors started telling us that we should move again, that there were people looking for us.
그래서요, 잘
In the
됐습니까?
beginning, yes. A few years passed and we forgot about the threat. Life had returned to normal, and that's when they came back and picked me up. 2 days later, when I woke up in a Baghdad hospital, I found out that they dumped me off there and told the hospital that I'd hurt myself in a work accident.
그래서
Yes. After that, I couldn't stay. The women in my family, my mother, my sisters, they were the only ones who knew.
남녀들은 왜
I was
몰랐죠?
very close to the women in my family. They were the ones who were around all the times while I was recovering. The men, my father, my brothers, always working, always out of the house. I got on a plane to Istanbul, where my cousin lived. He took me to Izmir, where the smugglers are. They're easy to find. I bought a space on a vessel, headed to Mytilene, Greece, the closest
유럽에서
harbor in
가장
Europe.
가까운 한 먼배였죠?
Just a simple raft, but not as overcrowded as in some of the stories you hear. I was lucky, at least in the beginning. We couldn't leave for 5 days. Too many Greek army ships in the sea. Every morning, getting up at 3:30 to make a go of it. By the 5th day, I was so tired of
어디 가는
waiting that I
거냐고요?
wasn't even scared to get on board any
모르겠습니다,
longer.
저도. 어떻게 가는
Finally,
거지?
impatience had overtaken fear. We did not make it to Europe. A boat pulls up next to us. People are trying to understand
도착지가
what's
도대체
going on.
어딜까?
But the man on the ship
맨 처음 시작할
only
때부터
speak Greek.
굉장히
At
요상했습니다.
first, people are worried that it's pirates. They take everything from the passengers. Sometimes take the passengers themselves. Sometimes just ram the boat and laugh as it sinks. But no, these are police, it turns out. They take us back to Turkey, where I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Of course, I did not remember all this in my dreams at first. These were things I remembered from clues I
에어컨
found
좀
along the
들어주세요.
highway.
덥네요.
I've dreamed this highway, this car before, many times.
왜 미국 고속도로가 나왔죠?
It's a good question. I had an uncle once who left Iraq many years ago to study engineering at the University of Bowling Green. I guess this made an impression on me.
잃어버린
Who
기억을
knows why we dream the things we
지금
dream?
찾으면서
What is your dream about?
가는 그런 얘기인 것 같은데 일단
breakup?
여자친구랑
That's it?
싸워갖고 어떻게 됐고 여자친구는 어떻게 됐고 모르겠고 오케이.
Ah, that's more like it. Who has been kidnapped? Who's this person that's been taken away from you?
여자친구요?
Do you have a photo? Who knows? Maybe I've seen her somewhere along this highway.
처음부터 같이 내가 할 때 처음부터 같이 보신 분들도 뭔 내용인지 잘 모를걸요.
I know her, the same woman, but with different hair color. I just saw her at the gas station a few miles back.
그건 미끼였어,
A
미끼.
decoy? What kind of game are you playing here?
나름 함정이라고 팠던 게 알고 보니
I say,
무덤이더라고요.
you're lucky nobody got hurt.
그 사람 무사했나요?
Yes, that's right. There was a scene there at the gas station. She was being questioned by two men. She seemed to be explaining herself, pointing at the empty passenger seat in her car. They didn't really seem interested in her, though. They were more interested in the empty car seat.
뭘 조건인지 들었어요?
Not exactly. There was a lot of pointing at the passenger seat in her car and shrugging. It seemed they'd lost something. Or someone. The leader,
맞아.
he seemed
지금부터
very
봐도
unhappy.
처음부터
The guy
본 사람이랑
in
별
an
차이
orange
없을걸요?
vest.
왜냐면 난 처음부터 하고 있는데도 뭔 소리인지 하나도 모르겠거든.
A trap. So they were looking for you?
회사라서 듣기만 하는데 영어 듣기 평가 같아요.
Sounds like getting in my dream. Getting in the
무슨
trunk.
얘기를 하고 있는지 이제
May have saved your
리스닝
name.
열심히 공부하시라고 지금 틀어놓고 있습니다.
No, I didn't get a look. I just heard
계속
one
들으면 이제
strange
리스닝이
thing
좀
they
괜찮아질
said.
거거든요.
That they were looking for a guy
방금 두통
with 8
생겼다고.
fingers. They were going to find him. Something like that.
손가락이
8
8개다?
fingers. 8 digits maybe.
8짜리? 아,
Uh-huh. And you wouldn't happen to have a strange blue box with you.
레서 판다님 30개월째 구독 감사합니다. 고맙습니다.
That
감사해요.
was the other thing they mentioned. They have the key, but don't
뭐야,
want the
깜짝이야, 뭐야.
box opened.
왜 그럴까요?
Well, if they were chasing
정신
you,
나갈 것 같아 그냥
say,
이쯤에서
have you
닌자나니
noticed how many
시켜줘.
tumbleweeds there are suddenly? I don't
왜
know,
그럴까요?
but the weather also seems to be
하나,
turning
둘, 셋,
suddenly.
넷, 다섯,
Turn on
여섯,
the
일곱,
radio
여덟, 아홉,
and see if you can
열.
find a weather report.
11, 12. 뭐죠? 어이!
My God! Get that thing off the window! Get it off! Get it off!
어떻게
It
해요?
seems to be changing the weather conditions.
To a daily hour system. With baffling riddles, favorite raisin cone.
Sunny skies today, and we could hardly ask for better weather. A balmy 72 degrees, with mild breezes throughout the day. Although there is a...
Suddenly, it's sunny.
다 꺼져 이 녀석들!
It's not working. They're stuck to the car. We need some other kind of weather to get clear.
다른 날씨가 필요해?
Level 3 thunders.
Our guidance and up 11% sequentially. And we generated exceptional operating cash flow totaling $398 million in the quarter. At a higher level, Scene Finder is ushering in an age of truly ubiquitous connectivity, enabling richer, smarter, and more convenient ways to live, work, play, and educate. And as we've noted,
Level
warning,
Looks
tornadoes
like
50
tornado
feet from
conditions.
car.
이건가?
Look, the tornado. It's starting to pull the tumbleweeds off the car, but it's not strong enough.
Tornado.
토네이도!
It worked. Oh, good riddance.
미국 고속도로에선 회전기들 때문에 사고가 엄청 일어나서 미국 보험회사에서
that was
나서서
very strange.
방지 펜스를
Even
쳤다.
for this place.
저런 것들 때문에 사고가 났다니 무섭다.
아 그래?
And the eyes on those things. It seemed they were spying, searching for something. Did you notice? What do you know about these guys? The ones who are after you.
대장이 눈을 10개쯤 가지고
Seems he had a few extra to
미국에서는
spare for the
토네이도에
tumbleweeds.
휘말린 회전초에 불이 붙으면서 파이어네이도가 되곤 한다. 너무 무섭다.
무섭고
I see. What else?
명함을 갖고
Oh,
있죠.
let's see.
여기요.
Balkan tours. Not directly, no. But I've heard about them. From a guy in Istanbul I met. He had made it through to Europe, but then had come back to get his family.
방금 갑자기 뭐였지?
But that's another story.
갑작스러운
He had come
프레임이더라고.
across those Balkan tours on his way back from Serbia. He warned everyone about them who would listen. Apparently, they had a charitable program to help refugees.
트레인 들어도
promising
사실
to help
연출.
them. But no one who accepted their help was ever seen from again.
뭐? 다 실종됐다고?
Just disappeared. And it wasn't just people in the refugee community either. Tourists too. There were strange stories. I only heard bits and pieces. Nothing very clear. Mirrors. Rooms full of mirrors. People losing their minds and never coming back. Yes. People who were heading from Turkey into Croatia and Serbia
목에 선이
were
사라졌다고?
being
아니야
warned
있어.
about it. Watch
그냥
out for
어두워서 잘
mirrors.
안 보이는 거야.
Rooms full of mirrors. Rooms full of ice. Well, my friend, I think right now the best thing you can do is run for safety. They probably have a good beat on your location, assuming the tumbleweeds were on their payroll. Make no mistake, these guys are dangerous.
그럼 뭘 하면 좋을까요?
Honestly, I have no idea. But tangling with Balkan tours right now would be suicide. I mean, it's what they want, isn't it?
맞아.
Right.
상자를 가져가는 거예요.
Where did you get the box? They must be worried about what's inside. Worried it will expose them, all the things they've done, to her and to all the other people they've hurt.
그래서 어디로 가는 거죠?
I wish I knew. Even if I make it to my destination, I'm still not home. That's what it means to be an exile.
주방장?
My niece, Nadia, used to ask me that question all the time. Where are you going, uncle? She was the only young person who knew I was leaving. Imagine, she knew when my father didn't. I was always mad at my sister for telling her. She would ask me that when I was putting her to bed. The only thing you can tell when a person that young asks you a question like that at bedtime. I told her the truth. Not the truth, but the truth wrapped in the blanket of a story. There's a place where the river Tigris runs through Baghdad. A place called the Two-Story Bridge. When I was a kid, I would go fishing there and look out at the water and wonder where it all led. As a child, I was told that the farthest place on the earth from Baghdad is a place called Fiji. I would train my eyes on the horizon and imagine that all the water led there, to the point where the sky met the earth. To my child's mind, Fiji was the place where the sky touches the earth. These people of Fiji, they must be very tolerant people to live in such a place where one has to stoop over at all times and can never stand up straight. Eventually, they resolved to leave and find a new home where the sky was farther from the earth, where the pandanus tree can grow high enough to be woven. So they left this land right under the sky, leaving behind those people so old and bent that they no longer cared to stand up straight. The other Fijians gradually moved away from the edge of the world, and the sky got a little higher, and then they found a marvelous place. It was fertile and lush, with excellent weather, an orange tree for every backyard. But there was one problem: earthquakes. Terrible earthquakes, as frequent as rains during the springtime in this country. All because the sky was still close to the earth. When there's thunder, it echoes off the roof of the sky and causes the ground to break. But the Fijians adjusted. They built their entire civilization out of rubber. Rubber houses with rubber beds that would sway during the quakes, with rubber restraints that would hold the sleeping Fijians tight while they dreamed.
어렸을 때 저렇게 생각을 했다고? 상상력이 굉장히 풍부하구만.
But Nadia didn't want a bedtime story about that. She wanted a story about good and evil, the kind of story children like. So I changed it for her to be about a Fijian princess called Nadia, who finds the source of all the earthquakes.
동화 버전에서는 어떻게 됐죠?
So Nadia finds a dragon hiding under the earth. A dragon with a splinter in its toe, whose terrible roaring causes the earth to break.
깨시가 막 발바닥에
Nadia slays
깨시가.
the dragon and saves the people by uttering a magic spell. Gonothi Seauton. Gonothi Seauton.
그노티
It's actually
세아우톤.
Greek. Rolls right off the tongue.
그노티 세아우톤. 이게 주문인가
Okay.
보다.
That was interesting. Can you say that again? All the mirror eyes closed.
아, 이게 말한 주문인가 보다.
And look, that's not the spell's only power. The card. There's a phone number on it now.
그러네. 번호 나왔다. 507-55274.
Do you know what this means? I think you're ready to make a certain phone call.
057 여자친구 휴대전화
Ready
있던
to
번호.
put your spell to use?
오케이, 준비됐습니다.
Do you have a phone?
Okay.
Even better. So, here's the plan. You call them and tell them you want to sign up for a tour.
투어? 어떤 투어?
Doesn't matter. A tour of the Badlands, whatever. Just
아무거나?
something
Okay.
to get close enough to them, to find out what's going on. Here's the thing. If they act like they're taking you on a tour, everything is good. But if they've figured you out, they'll try to distract you while they kidnap you. Take it from me. They tell you someone you care about is in danger, but don't believe it. If everything's fine, then everything's fine. But if someone you know is in danger, it's a trap. Get out of there. Are you ready?
오케이.
Dial the number.
507-555-6274. 띠띠띠.
Yeah.
약간 여행사인가요?
Yep. What can I help you with?
배드랜드 투어 예약하려고요?
That's a big park. You near the Argus gas station on Route 90?
예, 맞아요.
All right. I'll pick you up in an hour.
제가 그쪽으로 가는 건 어떨까요?
You don't have a car, do you?
어떻게 알았어요?
Just guess from your voice. So, see you in an hour.
어떻게 알아봐요?
Don't worry. I'll find you.
뭐지? 아저씨 어떡하죠?
So, it worked then?
어? 뭐야?
Isn't that how these things normally work in the stories of this country?
에?
Other character shows up, imparts some hard-earned wisdom, then conveniently fades away.
돈 필요해요.
It's a few minutes before 3:30 in Istanbul. There's another raft waiting. Another try.
안 돼요.
Don't worry, my
떠나지
friend.
말아요.
You have allies all along this road, even in the cars of enemies. I've left something for you.
아, 가지 말아요. 나만 남겨두지 말라고. 운전은 그럼 누가 해? 그럼 운전은 누가 하냐고.
Hey, sorry I haven't written in a while.
운전은 자율주행.
Hey, sorry I haven't written in a while. It took me all morning just to figure out where to buy stamps here. So, I'm sending you something from my trip, like I promised. Last week, I was at yet another barbecue. People here really enjoy their pork chops, let me tell you. There was this old-timer there, the host's father. He was talking about inflation during the war years. He ran upstairs to get something he was excited to show me. He comes back down with a 50 billion dinar bill. He starts talking about, at the time they printed it, inflation was so bad that in the morning it could buy one sandwich. By lunchtime, it could buy half a sandwich. It's a beautiful piece of printing, don't you think? All these O's lined up next to each other. Anyway, keep it tucked away for safekeeping. The big piece of news on my end is that yesterday, I finally tackled my fear of
고소공포증을 극복했다고?
Your humble
어떻게?
correspondent from the Balkans went hang gliding. Yes, me. Hard to believe, I
죽어서
know.
극복했다고.
I wasn't gonna do it, but this tour guide guy I met
Oh my
talked me
God.
into it, facing my fears and all that. But then the tour guide takes me to the hill where they do the hang gliding, and they're talking about the most crazy thing that happened the week before. You're not going to
아니
believe this.
고소공포증인 사람이
It's a
행글라이더를
tandem
어떻게 타러
dive,
가냐고.
so they have
말이
you strapped in with an
되냐고.
instructor, right? Well, last week they strapped someone in, but the instructor forgot to strap himself in securely. They go running off the cliff and the instructor tumbles down the hill. The instructor was okay, just some bruises. But now the other person is stuck up in the air
야, 잠깐만.
with no idea how to fly the thing. Everyone on the ground is freaking out, yelling instructions up in the air about what to do. The girl said later that once she got over the initial terror, it was like she'd been flying a hang glider all her life. It must have been exhilarating, conquering that first wave of fear. And once you're up there, It is amazing.
아니
The best
고등부
thing
찍으면
is that
이렇게
you
뜬
look down
순간
and there are these tiny
눈
white cotton
그냥
ball things
바로
on the
감기는 거
ground.
아니야?
And then you realize they're sheep. It's not so hard to steer either once you get the hang of it. Today, when I was looking for stamps, I bought one of those inspirational refrigerator magnets in a tourist shop. It says, "Do one thing every day that scares you." I know you think this kind of thing is cheesy, but I actually think it's profound.
기억의 물건 수집하기. 어떻게 수집하니? 저건가?
I hope we can do stuff like this on our road trip together. Can we? Sometimes I hate how we live in Seattle, just sitting around in our own heads all the time. I feel like it's the reason we've been arguing more lately before I
그렇지
left.
이륙은 뭐 자기가 선택해서 하는 건데 뭐 착륙은 그렇지 뭐 기름이 다 되면 어쩌든 무조건 착륙은 해야 되는 거니까.
If you don't shake the fear out of your system on a regular basis, it curdles up into anger. I don't want to be angry.
저기도 있다. 우유? 우유? 앵거.
Well, time for your idealistic correspondent to sign up. I'm so used to writing emails that it hurts my hand to write a real letter now. How sad is
나도
that?
종이에
But I
직접
promise to
펜으로
write more often.
쓴 게 도대체 언젠지 기억도 안 난다.
And what about you? I don't expect a real letter, but an email would be great. How is everything going? How did it go with that California assignment?
일단
The
기본적으로
thing
현실은 아닌
about
게 맞는
the
거.
grape farmers? That was this week, right? I miss you. I feel a little nervous about coming back home to you, but a little nervousness is nothing to worry about. That's what I've learned here. Fear is the mind killer. Love you.
그래서 착륙은 잘 했냐?
Jeez, there you are. Nice of you to grace us with your presence. I've been looking all over for you. You were supposed to be waiting by the post office, remember?
주유소에서 만나기로 하지
Look, we've
않았어요?
all got a lot on our minds since the accident. I don't have time to drive all over Mankato looking for you. Barely gotten any sleep since it happened.
그래도 투어 시간 맞췄죠?
Tour? Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
크레이그도 있어요.
Craig? Sure, it's only because of him that I'm picking you up. Honestly, some of us weren't so happy about the idea of having you around in the hospital. But he made a good case for you in that altruistic way of his. Said, we're not here to pass judgment.
뭐야? 띠릭 뭐야?
What? Hang on.
뭐야?
Shut up. This isn't just any kind of phone call.
뭐지?
Yes. No. I know. No, he turned up eventually. Yeah, he's sitting right here. Do you want to talk to him? Should I put him on live with you? No, I didn't think so. Yes. Okay, I'll wait then.
뭐지?
What?
헬멧이요.
It's called a headset. It's a good way to not wreck your car while you're using
통화하면서
phone.
사고 날 위험을
Something I would think you'd be very invested in at this point.
저걸 쓰면
Look,
it
was an accident, I know.
통화하면서 운전을 해도
Sorry,
사고 나지 않는다고.
but you just don't pull a phone out of someone's hand while they're behind the wheel. You should have known better.
주세요. 뭐지?
This is Sky Camp from KTOE, reporting to you from Mankato. For those of you heading south on I-169 on your commute...
Copernicus.
뭐야? 날린?
What?
Don't say anything. He can't hear me. Only you can.
아, 얘는 안 들려?
Don't say a word. Do you have that locked box? If you do, roll down the window as a sign.
오케이.
Hey, do you mind? I'm trying to listen to this.
It's okay. You can close it now. No point in making him angry over nothing. Okay, good. You can't let these guys get a hold of that box. He may even have the key on him, this guy.
아, 얘가?
They're taking you to her, but you have to be careful. You need to figure out how much they know.
To the hospital. Is this funny to you? Because it's not to me. Do you really want to go there? You really want to talk about this? Now? Of all moments? Fine.
알려주세요.
Listen, I know that she wasn't honest with you, that she couldn't bring herself to be straightforward about her feeling. I know it hurts you, man, but you two'd been growing apart for a while. In the end, she just wanted to be with someone more dedicated. That's the direction she was growing in. It didn't happen overnight, but the trip to Europe and meeting Craig, yeah, that was a big part of it. Oh, is that what you tell yourself?
안 했는데요?
That all this is somehow his fault? Fine, whatever. Yes, we're all working against you. Are you satisfied now? Because this is hardly the time to bring your hurt feelings out onto the stage. Can I tell you something? You're a great photographer. I mean, nobody doubts that, man. But at some point, if people keep screwing you over, keep betraying you, at a certain point, if everywhere you go, people keep being assholes to you, well, guess what? Maybe you're the asshole.
그런가? 라디오 켜도 돼요?
The radio? Sure, go ahead.
Copernicus, there's no time to lose. You have to act quickly now, before he puts that helmet on again. Use this bell. Stop him.
What? Yeah, know thyself. That's what I'm talking about.
예?
Gnothiseaton. Greek for know thyself.
자신을 알라.
That's a good start.
효과가 없는데요?
I know you've had a rough 24 hours, but we all have. I mean, she's my sister after all.
He's lying.
전화 왔다.
Hang on again, I gotta get this. Yeah, I'm here. We'll be there in just a few minutes.
어떡하지?
Yeah, he tried it just like we expected.
Oh?
Nah, I'm fine. Yeah, I agree. It's time to call his bluff.
Step on the brake. Stop him.
Ah, brake!
Step on the brake.
Ah, what are you doing? Let go.
난리 있나? 라디오 고장 났나 봐. 죽었니? 열쇠다. 열쇠 챙겼다. 됐다. 마참네. 뭔데? 갑자기 야.
Here's a security deposit.
뭐라고?
I'm going away for 2 months. I'll be back before you know it. I'm going away for 2 months. I'll be back before you know it. I'm going away for 2 months. I'll be back before you know it. Here's a security deposit.
이건가? 담보 저거 아니었나?
It's great, right?
됐지.
I'll send you something special from Europe to put inside. I wasn't gonna do it, but this tour guide guy I met talked me into it. So I'm sending you something from my trip, like I promised. It's a beautiful piece of printing, don't you think?
Okay.
All these O's lined up next to each other.
You two came by my house, yes? See, that's my silo. There in the background.
That was some argument. The argument back at the diner.
Okay.
Maybe there was something missing for her.
She thinks you've caused some kind of accident.
사고?
Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her. Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
병원.
Find the man with many eyes. They're the ones who did this to me.
Oh.
He has 10 eyes. He wears them around his wrist, like a bracelet.
어? 나왔다. 안에 뭔가 있다. 돈? 뭐임? 뭔 돈이지? 짐바브웨 돈 뭐 이런 거 아니냐고?
Help me. Save me from this man.
어? 뭐야?
Help me. Save me from this man.
Please, I think you flew into the bottle on purpose. What are you, the public defender to all things living?
Fireflies can't talk. Someone has to speak up for him. If the 6 tiny mittens don't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah, I'll set it free in a minute. I just think this light is incredible.
Let's keep him as our pet.
Now is being cruel. I think I'll always remember this.
This is one of those nights, right?
One of what nights?
We'll always have this. If you ever get to a point where you feel like you've lost me, all you have to do is find your way back to here and sit down beside me.
I hope the grass isn't so wet next time.
I'm serious. Write a note to your future self and put it in this bottle. If there's ever a point where things have gotten totally screwed up between us, that moment isn't real. This one is. All you have to do is find your way back to me.
What if I can't find the way?
That's why I've made you this beacon. A bottle with a green light to show you the way. Sense of direction isn't exactly your strong suit, Copernicus. Let's make a pact. With this honorable firefly as witness. I promise my screwed up future self won't mess this up for us.
I don't know. My future self can be a real jerk.
Mine too. We're going to make mistakes. Hurt each other. Everyone does it. So, time traveler, what news? What wisdom do you bring from the future?
That it's never too late. That any mistake can be fixed.
Good, if that's what you believe.
그래서 도대체 어떻게 돼가고 있는 거죠? 진짜로 지금 병원에 가고 있는 걸까? 스토리 요약요? 몰라? 모르겠다. 그치야 모르겠는데 뭐지? 끝이라고? 전혀 모르겠는데. 뭐지? 전혀 모르겠니? 브레이크를 안 누르면 엔딩이 달라지냐고요? 모르겠는데. 전혀. 이어하기도 있네. 뭐지?
아무튼 건포도 같은 사탄의 음식 먹지 마시라고요. 이게 다 건포도 먹어서 일어난 일이다.
모르겠다. 뭔지.